This is the McLaren Sabre, one of the rarest McLarens ever made. And it's the newest car in Forza Motorsport. It's actually the final new car for 2023. And today, we're gonna try it out, customize it, take it online, and see if it's any good. We've got 824 horsepower, nearly 600 foot-pounds of torque, and I don't know if I'm the only one, boys, but I absolutely love the look of this thing. If you want to get the McLaren Sabre, all you need to do right now is head to the auto show, and you'll find it here. This wouldn't be an AR12 video without any fun facts about the McLaren Sabre. Now, apologies in advance, because I will probably accidentally call it the McLaren Senna, but that's for good reason, because this is essentially a McLaren Senna in a bit of fancy dress. As the story goes, back in, I guess it was 2019 now. It feels like it wasn't that long ago. But McLaren came out with the McLaren Speedtail. Basically, for the Speedtail, they added in like 3 seats, these very cool like aero discs. The McLaren Speedtail was banned from the US, and that made all of the McLaren owners in America, aka many rich people, very angry. So they decided to build Americans something special. And that something special was the McLaren Sabre. They only built 16 of these things. However, only 13 ended up making it to America. Because as it turns out, if you have a lot of money, McLaren will still sell you one of them. One of them went to Qatar, one of them went to Bahrain, and one of them went to another country around that area. McLaren wanted to make this thing extra special though. So not only did they only make 16 of them, but they also took the McLaren Senna and basically gave it a facelift. That's why the front end looks a little bit different. The rear end is actually from the McLaren Senna GTR. So it's got all sorts of extra downforce, and they gave it extra horsepower. Back in 2020, when this car came out, it was actually the fastest 2-seater McLaren ever made. The McLaren F1 and the McLaren Speedtail both have 3 seats, so they don't count. Now, you might be saying, all of that sounds awesome. How much is one of them? Well, if you need to ask, you can't afford one. $4 million. They are absolutely insane cars, and I love them. McLaren comes out every other week with another special edition car, which on one hand is really cool. But all of these special edition McLarens do kind of annoy McLaren buyers because they keep coming out with all of these special editions. It makes the special editions less special. Anyways, long story short, I love this thing, and I love McLaren. Let's see what customization we have. So, we do actually have some engine swaps. So, we've got our 4-liter V8 twin turbo. We could swap in... What? Swap in a Nissan GTR engine? You could swap in an Audi R8 engine and a 6.5-liter V12? Why? I think I'll pass on those. We could also make it all-wheel drive, which would make it much worse. We do actually have some aero. You can see it kind of give us a rear wing on our rear wing. I think that's probably a worthwhile addition to get some extra downforce. Same thing for the front splitter. This reduces the amount of drag we have. I don't think we really need that. And we can also upgrade our hood. Look at it. It adds little wannabe hood pins on this thing. I think our drivetrain is all good. Our wheels are probably all good. Maybe let's just give it some fat rear tires. Our tire compound we're gonna have to come back to. We can actually toss drift suspension on, and weight reduction. Oh my god, this thing's gonna be fast. I guess we'll just try to get this thing to the top of S-Class with a little bit of horsepower. We're gonna have to opt for a flywheel and I guess the hood. We'll finish things up with a spicy paint job. So we only have one manufacturer color. So if we want to paint it, we'd have to paint it ourselves. All of the carbon fiber is also not colorable, which is a little annoying if you ask me. With the upgrades we've got on this thing now, I think the Sabre is going to be much, much nicer to drive. Okay, we've got some big competition, but let's see what we can do. Come on, buddy. We should have more grip now. We should have more downforce now. We don't actually have any extra horsepower. Oh, but it's good on the brakes. Okay, Senna, move. I think we might still need some wider tires, if I'm honest. I put the AI on the hardest difficulty in the game. Hello? I don't understand what the AI is doing. Anyways, now we can actually jump in and drive this thing properly. It still feels like it needs extra grip, though. The back end is just sliding out like a madman. Maybe the McLaren Sabre wants to be a drift car. Up in 6th gear, 160 miles an hour, and we get on the brakes. Now we turn it and look. The back end tries to overtake us again. It feels, right? It feels weirdly heavy. It's a very, very strange car to drive. Even saying all of that, though, on the bright side, hardest difficulty in the game and a lovely P4. I found a tune that's on race tires with a Nissan GTR engine, I think. I'm gonna do it. I don't need that much horsepower out here. Please drive like a normal car. This is so much better. This is so much better. I have grip. Yes. We qualified with a shocking tune. That's not P12. What? Why am I starting in P7? I just yoink. Okay, that guy has all-wheel drive. I love how all of these people have very, very different tunes. I should have held the inside there, but we went to the outside. But I have the grip, baby. And I have a lack of horsepower. Very, very good in the corners. Look at it. Let's go. Yep, there he goes. Bye, buddy. Okay, guys. We gotta make an overtake happen sooner rather than later. He's off. We got one. We're up to P3, baby. We have a lovely gap to the cars behind. We're looking good. P3 is ours. These tires are so much better. Reel them in in these corners. This is where we got to get them. This is where we've got to get them. I do have bad news to report, though, lad. My tires are dying very, very quickly. We got to go for switchback here. Come on. Oh, no, he had the run. There's somebody gaining behind. This is not good news. Off the inside. Snuck it in, baby. Shit. Almost off the road. Yeah, I had to lift. Shit. Bono, my tires. 1 lap of fuel remaining. Everything is gone. I think if I would have gone for hard compound tires, I might have been able to catch 3rd and overtake him because he... No, my tires. My tire wear is 74%. How about we find out how fast a fully upgraded Sabre is? I'm pretty sure the stock engine's gonna have more horsepower than the big V12. The stock McLaren engine has 1,100 horsepower. The V12 has 1,200 horsepower. And I'm gonna keep it rear wheel drive because I like chaos. And let's make it as fast as it can go. Every upgrade. I can't believe the stock tires are street tires. You could upgrade them to sport, then you could upgrade them to race. Why is my car already damaged? They're probably right about me crashing this thing because I have 1,200 horsepower in rear wheel drive and I haven't really set it up for any sort of serious drive. Pretty quick though. Let's just send it, hope for the best. Oh my days, this thing. The Tachyon is just zooming. Jeez. Oh my god, look at the brakes. Even the Koenigsegg is zooming. Oh, sorry. This is not as bad to drive as I was expecting. It's not that the Sabre's bad to drive. It's just a handful and a half. It's like trying to deal with a child. A child who's a bit of a menace. That kid in kindergarten class was a bit of a dickhead. That's what this car is like. It's a great car, but it's also a bit of a dickhead. Always threw sand at me. Exactly. You've been trying to be a drifty boy the entire time I've been driving. I think it's time to do what the McLaren Sabre wants to do. I guess we'll keep the stock engine in it. We'll keep it rear wheel drive. I don't need any aero-y bits. And then I think all we're gonna do is give it drift suspension. I mean, welcome back to Forza Motorsport, the game that has drift suspension, but no drift tires or drift transmissions and no drift mode. Casually drifting the Nürburgring GP circuit in a $4 million hypercar. Don't do it. I was about to go way off the circuit and snap it in. Come on, get that 360. No shot! Casually drifting a $4 million hypercar. It's not the same way Michael Schumacher took the corner. All right, one more 360. We'll see if I can go back to back. Oh, this is late. Oh, I'm off. I'm still good, baby. Still got him. I had to hold the brakes. I love these cars. I love McLaren. And one day, I'll have a 600 LT.